Hey everyone, Rosbowski here, and welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's 3 information and speculation video. Today, we're going to be talking about who the killer could possibly be. Now, the phone guy has had a bad rap for a long time. People have been blaming this poor guy who just wants to help you, but it could be somebody different. We know the purple guy is out there being a bit of a bastard, but who could this purple guy be? Now, what happens if I tell you? What happens if I tell you that the purple guy is somebody that we've seen very, very little of? What happens if I tell you the killer is Fritz Smith? The guy who gets fired for tampering with the animatronics on night 7 of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Fritz Smith could be the killer we are all searching for. Now, this theory came up with by Gigi Boss. She is a regular viewer of the channel and she comments all the time, so thank you very much. You love the videos and I love it when you comment on them, especially with theories such as this. So we had a little chat about the theory and we've come up with some good ideas that hopefully you guys will enjoy. Anyway, on to Fritz Smith being the bastard. So we got Fritz Smith. All we know from him is that he's come into the night 7 of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 after you have been switched onto the day shift. So you're now playing as Fritz Smith, you tamper with the animatronics and you get fired. Now, how do we get from him being fired to him actually killing children? So, let's look at some information. If we quickly go over to the phone guy conversation from the first night call on Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he says, you're only the second guard to work at the location. The first guy finished this week but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift, so hey, lucky you, right? He mainly expressed concern that certain characters seem to move around at night. So, what happens if Fritz Smith was the guard you replaced? What happens if Fritz Smith moved to the day shift after already working night shift? Now, the reason I come to this conclusion, and so did Gigi, is that when you get switched over onto the day shift in after night 6, that's a very, very short space a short space of time before to hire somebody new. You're on the night shift, you're getting moved to the day shift the next morning, and somebody's got to come in and fill your slot on night 7. It makes sense to just move somebody from the day shift that perhaps had a day off, like Fritz Smith, that had already had experience of working the night, and just say, by the way, mate, if you just work one extra night, you'll get some money and you will be fine. You'll be doing us a big favor out, and it gives us time to go and hire somebody new. So that makes sense. It doesn't make sense that they would just pull somebody off the street, because you've got to get background checks, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. So it makes sense to bring Fritz Smith, who potentially worked the night shift before us, back into that position. We're only the second guy, so if Fritz Smith was the guard that we replaced, then it would make sense for him to come back. That's one little bit of information, or at least a theory anyway. None of this is proved, but it just makes sense, if you know what I mean. And now, we go to night 4 phone call. The beautiful phone guy, who is just trying to help us out, says, just as a side note though, try to avoid eye contact with any of the animatronics tonight if you can. Someone may have tampered with their facial recognition systems. We're not sure, but the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive towards the staff. They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare. So, here's the second bit of information. If we assume that Fritz Smith is on the day shift, then potentially he has already tampered with the animatronics, which he in turn gets fired for when he gets switched to the night shift. Because there's many people going about during the day, they can't pinpoint who has messed with the animatronics to make them more aggressive. So, Fritz Smith gets away scot-free. He messes about with them, turns them into killing machines, and he is just like, yes, done that. So he clearly has the ability to mess with the machines. Not everybody can do that. I mean, if I came across a Mickey Mouse animatronic, I would not know what to do. I could pull out a few wires here and there, but I don't think it would mess with anything. I would probably break Mickey down, but I wouldn't be able to mess with it. So clearly Fritz Smith has some sort of knowledge. He's not just any ordinary guard, any ordinary night guard. He clearly has the skills to mess with these robots. So this comes us on to night 6. And the phone guy says, what the hell are you doing there? You didn't get the memo, but the place has been closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare one in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it, and now none of them are acting right. Okay, and then he goes on to say, I'm going to move you to the day shift on nights, or day 7, as it were, and somebody else will be pretty much replacing you. Although he says, when the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. So it's not him. We know it's not the phone guy that takes the shift on night 7, so we know he's not Fritz Smith. We've replaced him. Fritz Smith comes in from the day shift, potentially because he knows about how to work the night shift job, and this is when we get on to night 7. He comes in, messes about with the robots once more because we're doing the custom night, and he gets fired, and that's when the check appears. Wherever it is, I've lost it now. I'll probably just pop it on the screen before your beautiful eyes. So yeah, there we are. Great. Now get out. The reasons you're fired: tampering with the animatronics. So, too long, didn't read. Fritz Smith used to be the night guard before we replaced him. He messed with the animatronics while he was the day shift guy, maybe while he was on training for the day shift, or maybe he was doing something else. Either way, he's messed with the animatronics facial recognition system, turning them into hostile monsters. He replaces us on night 7, messes about with the animatronics again, but gets caught. In all of this, he has had time to get inside a yellow suit and murder children. He has, because he's been messing about with the animatronics, he's also had access to all the stuff in the back. I mean, he's had access to the yellow suit, and he could have gone about and lured the children away. He could have messed with Mangle, causing the bite of 87. That is one thing. I mean, if he's made the animatronics hostile, then he's gone ahead and messed with all of that. Perhaps that Mangle, it's never, I don't think it's ever been said that if it was a kid or a guy, a human, they're all humans, adults, that's the word I'm looking for. It's not ever been said if it was a child or an adult that has been bit by the bite of 87, so it could be an adult has been bitten, and that could all be down to Fritz Smith, and he could have easily, if he knows how to mess about with all the suits and stuff, he could easily have killed the children and lured them into a cupboard or whatever he did with them. So there we go. Potentially, Fritz Smith is the purple guy who is the killer, who is a very bad man. Hopefully you enjoyed this theory today, and thanks again, Gigi, for initially coming up with the concept, and then we had a little dialogue about it. It really, really is good to get some nice dialogue going, so thank you very much for that. And guys, like, if you enjoyed today's video, then please hit that like button. Let me know what you think of this theory down in the comment section below, and I will see you again for some more Five Nights at Freddy's 3 information and speculation. I've been Razbowski, you've been the beautiful bastards, as always, for watching, and I love each and every single one of you. Goodbye!